We are coming to you live from the Boston, Massachusetts, and the Republic Broadcasting Network, where you can handle the truth. Tonight, I report on the Gulag. Is it American? If you have any questions, call me anytime in the United States at 1-508-857-8334. Call into the show live and ask a question. Get involved at 800-313-9443. Or you can listen at 605-313-0163. Targeted Massachusetts Northeast Conference airs Wednesdays and Fridays at 9 p.m. Access by phone 515-604-9715. Access code 708922. ID targeted. For access by computer in your address bar, type freeconferencecall.com/wall/targeted. Our YouTube channel is youtube.com/C/targeted Massachusetts. Okay, tonight we are discussing the Gulag. What it meant in the Soviet Union. And what it means in the United States. Parts of this are taken from a work by Anne Applebaum. And she writes, Gulag, a History. For a definition, the exile of prisoners to a distant place where they can pay their debt to society, make themselves useful, and not contaminate others with their ideas or criminal acts. This is a practice as old as civilization itself. The rulers of ancient Rome and Greece sent their dissidents off to distant colonies. Socrates chose death over the torment of exile from Athens. The poet Ovid was exiled to a fated port on the Black Sea. This is how freedom begins to die. This is how you condition a populace to life as prisoners in a police state by brainwashing them into believing they are free so that they will march in lockstep with the state and be incapable of recognizing the prison walls that surround them. Face the facts. We are no longer free. All this is the most wonderful country in the world to live in. We in the American police state may enjoy the illusion of freedom. But that is all that it is. An elaborate deception rooted in denial and delusion that hides the grasping, greedy, power-hungry, maniacal force that lurks beneath the surface. My president has fought well to bring corporations back to the United States. He has fought well to stop ridiculous spending by previous administrations. He has brought back billions of dollars to the United States. But still, due to the police state that's been adopted before his administration, he will grapple with it time and time again. He grappled with it the first months of his presidency. Brick by brick, the prison walls being erected around us by the government and its corporate partners in crime grow more oppressive and more persuasive by the day. Brick by brick, we are finding there is nowhere to run and nowhere to hide. Brick by brick, we are being walled in, locked down, and locked up. That is the curious thing about walls. They not only keep those on the outside from getting in, they also keep those on the inside from getting out. Consider, if you will, some of the bricks in the police state's wall that serve to imprison the citizenry, red flag gun laws that strip citizens of their rights based on the flimsiest of pretexts, concocted by self-serving politicians. Over-criminalization resulting in jail time for non-violent offenses such as feeding stray cats and buying foreign honey. Military training drills, showy exercises in armed intimidation, and live action role-playing between soldiers and freedom fighters, staged in small rural communities throughout the country. Profit-driven, speed and red light cameras that do little for safety while padding the pockets of government agencies. Overt surveillance that turns citizens into suspects. How often, when walking down the streets of your city, do you look up and see cameras everywhere? Probably possibly not often enough. Police run facial recognition software that mistakenly labels law-abiding citizens as criminals. Punitive programs that strip citizens of their passports and the right to travel over unpaid taxes. Government agents that view segments of the populace as subhuman and treat them accordingly. A social credit system very similar to what China has adopted, that rewards behavior deemed acceptable and punishes behavior the government and its corporate allies find offensive, illegal, or inappropriate. Good evening, Richard. How are you doing?
Well, I'm hanging in there, Frank. Sometimes the truth is a little hard to swallow, but you're hitting a home run as usual. It's time the American public know that it's all at risk. We're down to all or none, and the other side is getting all, and we're getting none. So this has to be done something about. Should have been done something about a long time ago. And the longer things go, the worse things are going to get. The taking of the guns, the stripping of your privileges to drive, all of those things are true, including the wall. The wall was not just meant to keep people out. Everyone has questioned that from the beginning. So we've got to step up and open our eyes and decide, is this the way we want to live? Do we want to live like the China people who have had imposed upon them social scoring, or even a communist way of life? Or does anyone even really remember what it's like to be free, to go where you want, to do what you want, to be an American? And this is the story. Maybe it's time for Francis Scott Key Jr. to step up and write a new book or a new song or something to make the American public be aware that these things are real and they are happening right here under our noses in our country. I think the generational thing of the older ones being targeted or done away with, they're the ones remember. The younger guys, they don't remember the freedom and the rights. A lot are just too quick to accept we don't have them anymore. And, well, it kind of breaks my heart, chokes me up a little bit, Frank, but thank you. Hope you're doing well, too.
Yes. Just hang out. We'll get through some more of this. What I don't like, you brought up something. History, according to the history books, is not the same as it was recorded in my history book. I know there have been many things that have been changed, even Christmas carols. They have reworded many Christmas carols because they are deemed sexist. So, with that, are we free? We live in the most wonderful country in the world. Is anybody more free than we are? That's a question I'd like to put out there. And I hope some listeners will call in and give me some answers. Oh, that was quick. We have Midge Mathis. Go ahead, Midge.
Hi, Frank.
Hi.
Oops.
How you doing?
Hi. I'm okay. So I missed the question, so I don't know what the question is. If you can tell me, I was calling in.
Okay, the question is there a country in the world where you can live any more freely than we do? And there will be a number of answers, and it depends upon how worldly you are. Go ahead.
Mm-hmm. Well, I think there's different parts of Canada that are remote. You know, I think in any country where you're kind of might be able to live remotely, I do think there's still a lot of freedoms that way. Not so much in the cities. But that's a really good question. I don't know. What do you think?
From what I've seen, you almost have to travel there.
Mm-hmm.
Because if you query Russian people, they will not answer you. They will not say a thing. And the reasoning behind that is they're afraid to. So maybe Russia is not one of those countries. I thought of Switzerland, but I'm not sure if I could get an accurate answer about Switzerland. Switzerland, as you know, is totally neutral on everything. Yet there is still targeting, cyber torture in Switzerland, as Dr. Catherine Horton has demonstrated.
Yes, this is a really great question, Frank. Now you have my curiosity up. I just know the places that I have traveled, the places that I have lived in different countries that have been very remote. So I can think of a couple of places where I feel very free. I feel less free in the city because I heard you talking about the cameras everywhere. That is very true. You know, people need to wake up. They're just, you know, we're already in a position of being so controlled.
Yes,
and
we are.
It's not a healthy way to live. This isn't right. I just see it getting worse. They need to lift, all the states, they need to lift the COVID mandate.
Okay, Midge, we have to go to commercial. We'll be back shortly with Midge Mathis. Thank you.
Folks, we're living in a world the likes of which we've never perceived any clearer than we do now. The plan for global governance has been in the works for generations and would have likely been achieved by now but for the fact that the globalists left open their Achilles heel. With all their tools, Federal Reserve System, fiat currency, no child left behind, and then Common Core education introduced to our schools to dumb us down, vaccines, pharmaceuticals to lobotomize us, GMO foods, insertion of compromised or bought and paid for politicians, judges, mainstream media propaganda, all pieced together like a puzzle designed to ultimately bring the world under submission. But with all their strategy, they forgot one thing: knowledge. And knowledge is power. With knowledge, their bombardment is nullified. Folks, with that, as brilliant and knowledgeable as you've become, among the wisest audience of any radio audience in the world, and you are, I want you to take a moment to reflect and ask yourself, how much of that knowledge did I obtain from Republic Broadcasting Network? How high has my consciousness been raised since I've been a listener? How fast am I now able to discriminate truth from fake news by being a Republic Broadcasting listener? How clear am I now able to see the world since I've been listening to RBN? Ask yourselves those questions, folks. Then ask yourself, what is that knowledge worth to me? Like my morning coffee, how would I survive without it? A voice of truth in a sea of lies. Do we not all need to make sure it survives? Like public broadcasting, we are now finding we can only survive with listener support. Censorship, advertisers being attacked, truth itself being attacked. It's the only way through this. We at Republic Broadcasting humbly ask you to become a supporter. Look at your budget and make a determination of what Republic Broadcasting is worth to you and what you can afford on a monthly basis. Go to republicbroadcasting.org and pledge 20, 30, 40, 50, if possible, 100 a month or more if it's affordable. Click the donate button and become a regular monthly donor. Assure both us and yourself that Republic Broadcasting truth will continue to flow like that morning coffee. The network thanks you.
Is your property a financial burden and causing you grief? Have you tried to sell but can't find buyers? Or are you just too busy to sell your property? Don't worry. We have the right solution for you. We buy properties as is, with cash, close in 30 days, and pay all closing costs. Our service is ideal for property owners who are in pre-foreclosure, have high-end repair costs, experiencing financial hardship, going through costly divorces, are relocating, need cash for retirement, suffering family loss, or have tax liens. Whatever your situation may be, we can help you sell your property and get the money you need. If you own a single-family home or multiple family units, call us for a free consultation at 888-910-1037. That's 888-910-1037. Or visit our website at cashingproperty.com. That's cashingproperty.com. Sell your property fast and leave all your worries behind.
Okay. Good evening from Boston, Massachusetts. We just left off with Midge Mathis, and we have a very curious question. What country in the world is freer or more free, I'm terribly sorry, than the United States to live in? We have our laws, but they are reasonable. Many other countries have laws that would be unacceptable to Americans. But did you have a chance to think about that, Midge? You had the floor.
I don't know. I think that is such a good question. I've kind of got my curiosity up. I wasn't able to research it in the time that we had during the commercial, but I did listen to Republic Broadcasting Network, their advertisement, their commercial, and what they say is astounding, because what is happening is the global governance is true. Had I not been targeted myself and had my civil rights ripped out from underneath me with no notification, no jury, no nothing, and you have to figure this stuff out by yourself, I mean, how evil can that be? And this is happening all over the world. So you wonder, they're able to track you by satellites. That's a true story. They've got cameras everywhere. Frank, I think you were talking about they can deny you travel for back taxes. I mean, there's all kinds of things that are being placed on people without their awareness. There are more and more people waking up because of the virus, the COVID-19, and everything that has imposed. This is just a tip of the iceberg that has been going on secretly. And if we don't stop it, it's going to get worse. So there again, I thought myself, where can I go? I've pondered this many times myself. And to tell you the truth, there really isn't a place. Because of what I've been through, I was once offered, because there is the Underground Railroad still exists, especially for abused women. And so I said, that cannot be possible because I'm easily tracked, because this is the God's honest truth, I've been implanted with a tracking device. If people don't wake up to what we're trying to tell them, we are the canary in the coal mines. We've been trying to wake up, the world, exposing what has happened to targeted individuals. And if this isn't stopped, then I am very fearful of what's going to happen. I do believe our president is trying to do that. He's fighting the deep state. That is a given. So, like yourself, you're doing great things, Frank. You work really hard. You're trying to get the message out every single night. And there are others who are doing the same thing. There's all kinds of independent journalists and stuff, and I think I've heard this before. Where can you go? And if anybody can call in and tell us, I'd like to hear it. Wouldn't you?
Yeah, we have Chris from Las Vegas, and he just called in, and let's see if Richard, Midge, and Chris together, we can come up with a place that is more free than the United States. And don't go by money, because there's plenty of places that are cheaper.
Well, I would just like to quickly say that there is no other place, and it's time we dig our heels in and get back what we had here. The jumping and running and moving is not going to work. Looking for another place, maybe if we got lucky enough to find somewhere in space where there's more space. But as far as this globe, we have it here and now, and, well, we don't have anywhere to go.
Okay, that's a really good answer. And I would have to say that will take a very significant effort by the citizens of the United States, because we have news that cannot be believed. I used to hear about propaganda in East Germany when I was a small boy. And I thought to myself, boy, that's terrible. They don't get the truth. They don't understand what's happening in their own country. And some of this came through recordings of Radio Free Europe, which existed back in the 60s. And Radio Free Europe was the only news that was correct. Okay, folks, it's the bottom of the hour. We are going to station identification. Thank you.
You are tuned in to the Republic Broadcasting Network. Visit our website by going to republicbroadcasting.org.
Here at Republic Broadcasting Network, we have been building our online store. Well, we have been focusing on bringing you the best talk show host in the country. Here at Republic Broadcasting Network, we also want our listeners to have products they can use every day and in times of emergency. We have added new products each week to our store. Your support of this network, plus products at the best prices, is a win-win situation. Check out our new store. Go to our website, republicbroadcasting.org, and click on the online store located at the top of our website. Together, we can continue to grow RBN and help our listeners prepare for the future. Go to republicbroadcasting.org and click on our online store or call us. 800-724-2719, extension 3. 800-724-2719, extension 3.
Extend your life with Extendovite.
Extendovite really works. Here are some reviews from Amazon.com. Amazon customer, 5 out of 5 stars. I'm quite happy about it. This product has relieved what appears to be an angina problem, pain in the chest after climbing stairs, and short on breath. I'm quite happy about it. Dr. Sam Surreal. Good product and ingredients. Kept my blood pressure normal after mild heart attack in 2015. Switched to plant-based diet also to reverse atherosclerosis. John Bispicos, 5 out of 5 stars. Built up my immune system. To order, call 1-877-928-8822. That's 1-877-928-8822. Or visit our website at heartdrop.com.
Extend your life with Extendovite.
Corporate media dominates the American opinion. Finding independent voices that counter this avalanche is becoming increasingly difficult. With the endless corruption running rampant throughout our government, independent voices are needed more than ever to battle the offensive against our freedoms and liberties. As a listener of RBN, no one understands this concept better than you. Now it's up to you to do your part. The time has come for you to take action and begin broadcasting the truth to hundreds or thousands of people every month. Sound impossible? Quite the contrary. With pointed slogans from LibertyStickers.com, you can reach countless sleeping Americans unaware that they live in a real-life wonderland. LibertyStickers.com has a huge inventory of political bumper stickers and messages that reflect the truth about our government, our politicians, and the future of America. With so many in stock, there's one perfect for you. Visit us today at LibertyStickers.com. Again, that's LibertyStickers.com. Do your part. Your voice is important. Let it be heard.
Good evening and welcome back. I believe I was just commenting on what Richard had to say. And the question was, is there a country that is any more free than the United States? And his answer was no. But there's a lot of work that we have to do. We have to stop going to work and coming home every day, sitting in front of the tube, watching the fake news. You've got to get off your butt and do something. We're doing it. We are doing it for you. And we're not going to continue. We need help. You need to get off your butts and do something. Come to a protest in Washington. Take your vacation and invest it in your children and your children's children. So that was a very good answer. We have Chris from Las Vegas. Let's try and keep it a little brief, Chris, because we have some other people that would like to answer as well. Go ahead, Chris.
Absolutely. Thank you very much, Frank, Midge, Richard, and everyone here is just a wonderful group of contributors that you've assimilated tonight. And your observations about getting off the fake news on Television is very, very pertinent. But you had mentioned opening in the show, sorry for the noise in the background, that these red flag laws, and you could have been describing me in particular. I was red flag because I am an expert with multiple different defensive implements from the military and multiple law enforcement associations prior, but because I've sought out to inform myself and remove myself from unbenighted ignorance, as counseled Natalie versus Georgia, I have been targeted myself. I can assure you there is a bar hit list, a judicial hit list, and many of us are on there if we're knowledgeable in law and advocates and activists out here in the netherworld. Whether there's a country on the planet that's freer or not, I can't be sure. In fact, Svizar land, more correctly pronounced, and the VI being very critical in the 6-point star bar chamber of Satan, is becoming a dangerous place. Recently, they're going to lock down the children in schools and have forced injections. Call them vaccinations, but I'm not sure they cure anything. But with that, when my former bride was flipped against me, weaponized against me, and made part of the undercover confidential human source prosecution team to try to trump up charges against me and red flag me, was improperly influenced and was suborned to commit felony perjury in a DCFS court, which is an inquisitorial star chamber. Because if you
Chris?
get a unilateral process, go ahead.
Chris, have you been abroad to another country that is any more free than the United States? Or
I've been to Canada, I've been to Mexico.
Right.
And elements of different places there. And Hawaii, that's kind of like a foreign country. And I didn't see the police state like I see here, locking down with these mercenary cops, the warrior cops, as they like to call themselves. It's very, very dangerous. But with that, I think I'll listen to Midge and Richard, and I'll mute out because I'm in a busy, loud zone.
Okay, thank you, Chris. As usual, you bring a wealth of information with you. We have John from Pennsylvania, and
Yes.
he's going to give us his choice, his answer.
Thank you for taking my call, and it's always a pleasure to listen to Chris.
Isn't
talking
it?
about freer nations, I do understand that for centuries, the Libyan people were not allowed to be title holders to their own lands. And it wasn't until Muammar Gaddafi took the presidency of that, or however they call their leaders over there, and for the first time, the Libyan people were able to be owners of their own land in their own country, on their own soil. And talk about targeted people. Gaddafi, that was a war crime that we committed against the Libyan people.
Okay. So
we have assumptions.
Go ahead, Mitch.
Well, I pulled it up. I pulled it up about what countries are human, because it says human freedom rank. So this is really a great subject. New Zealand, Ireland, Denmark, Canada. And what is the best state in the United States? New Hampshire. It has the highest overall freedom score, and it ranks behind South Dakota. I like South Dakota. I like their governor. So that's just kind of interesting. I had no idea.
Yeah,
so,
that was
that
was very nice of you to break it down by state. Now, New Hampshire's slogan is "Live free or die."
Well, there you go.
So they have stuck to that.
Also on the list for the states is Florida, Missouri, and Tennessee. So this is very interesting. Okay, I'm ready to go to Denmark. That sounds wonderful. or I'm ready to go to New Hampshire.
Yeah,
that sounds
New Hampshire's a beautiful state too.
It
beautiful
is.
State.
Arizona ranks one of the worst.
Okay, where does Massachusetts end up?
Massachusetts didn't even come up.
Okay, yeah, I
It
kind
must
of
be
thought
even
so.
worse. Oh goodness. Yeah, this is pretty interesting to me. But I'm ready to get on a ship and sail to Denmark. That sounds lovely. And I'll check out New Hampshire on the way.
Yeah. Yeah,
That'd
New
be
Hampshire
cooler
is-
than Arizona, that's for darn sure.
Oh God, I
So
don't know
what
how
do you
you stand those temperatures out there.
It's pretty bad sometimes, but we're getting, it's almost over. We're on the downhill slide to, being nice again. So.
Well, what's nice, really 100?
Yeah, that's really cool. It'll start getting better in about a month, a little bit. But we have a ways to go. I mean, today was 105. But anyhow, so this is really interesting. What do you think, Frank? Where do you want to go live?
Well, I'd like to see Denmark. I really would.
Yeah.
But as far as being more free, are they subject to attack? How good are their defenses? How do they protect their people? How are their armed forces? These are other questions you have to ask. And there are so many different facets as on a diamond that you have to look at. And there may be some rough cut ones around the world, but the United States shines. So I'd have to say the United States, and we have to do some work. People have to really get out there. We started out as a town hall government with George Washington up at the head of the town hall. What happened to that? Well, the nation started to get bigger and more people started coming here, and it became a melting pot of all different people, Irishmen, Englishmen, Germans. It's a melting pot. So
that's right.
It grew to the point where, okay, you cannot go up and shake the president's hand when you want to at the town meeting. But I will tell you that every letter that you send to a government agency or the White House itself should be answered if they have to hire people to do it, because you are a tax-paying citizen of the United States. You are a citizen. That is a big word. You are a citizen of the United States. And people don't study. There are many people in this country that don't know that if you spell the United States with the normal amount of caps, which would be T-U-S, that means one thing. If you spell it all in caps, that means another. All in caps means 1600 Pennsylvania Avenue. That is a corporation. If you spell your own name in caps, that is a corporate version of yourself. So a lot of people don't know that and should understand that when they go to court, when they see their name on the docket. But to get back to what's the best country, I think it's the United States. But I will study Denmark because, I am not going to be oppressed when I don't have to be. But this country deserves, the people deserve a fight for me to get what we deserve. Go ahead, Midge.
Well, I just think you get to a certain age, and obviously we've all gone through a really awful, awful time that, 6 years ago I could not have imagined that this would happen to me, where I am under illegal surveillance. I have not done anything. I won't go into my personal story, but I was set up, and by someone who's very powerful. And it's hard to imagine that this could even happen, but this is the plan. If we don't, keep exposing what has happened to people, non-consensually implanted against our will, and if you don't think it can happen to you, it can. When you come to that realization and you know for a fact what has happened, it is absolutely shocking. I think for the first couple of years, I just was in shock. I now try to live my life as normal as possible. I don't talk about any of this unless it's with my friends or someone who knows about it. I think that we all are entitled to enjoy the life that we have. And I, for one, will seek the best place in order to obtain that. So I think, like I said, you get to a certain age and you look at the quantity. And unless things can be turned around, and I think President Trump is trying to do that. I normally don't like to talk about politics, but I think you can. It's almost impossible to do so right now. But we all have the right to freedom. This is what our country was based on. We have the right to demand our freedom. We have every right to go after the ones who have done this, and they want to do it to everyone because they think they're the elitist, the globalist, that they want to be the masters of the universe. I find, because of a certain type of research that I do, I get really hot under the collar when I see property masters of America next to some of my family members' names. That gets me really upset, and I know that it's true because they want to own everyone. They want to use your Social Security number to obtain illegal bank loans to purchase real estate and start businesses so that they own everything in the land, and this is going to bring me to COVID because there is a huge number of people leaving different states like New York City and New York State. In order to survive, there's going to be a huge land grab by the globalists of real estate, of prime property. So this is another part of the agenda of the virus. Look what's happened in California. People are leaving in droves. Arizona, they can't build apartments fast enough or houses fast enough. There's building going on everywhere because we have such an influx of out-of-staters coming into our state, trying to find a decent place to live. But this is all about a land grab also. The globalists want to own everyone, they want to own everything. This is not how God intended us to live. This is not how we were intended to live. They're not my master. They're just mortal men. So we must do everything to reset our country.
Very good. Very good indeed. If you had an audience that could get through to you, they would be clapping, I'm sure. John from Pennsylvania, is there anything you wanted to add? Or Richard? He did? Okay. Richard.
Yes, Frank, I would like to say to each and every American citizen in the country, there is nowhere else to go, and they all need to take a stroll through Arlington and some of the other cemeteries across this country. What would you say? Would you say, well, we're going to Switzerland now. Would you guys like to come and go with us? They can't. They chose the Socrates thing.
Okay,
Richard,
liberty. We have to go to commercial. We'll be right back, and thank you for listening.
Hello, I'm Dr. Leonard Horowitz. I was right 30 years ago in warning the world about threatening lab virus outbreaks, AIDS, and Ebola. I was right 20 years ago when FBI Director Robert Mueller made me a suspect in the anthrax mailings because I warned the Bureau before the CIA's biocrime and Cipro sales psyops happened. I was right about COVID-19 being an AIDS-laced mutagen planned to resurge this fall to excuse officials' profitable depopulation globalization agendas. And I was right about the only safeguards being antioxidants and holy spiritual sustenance. Vitamin C, D, zinc, chlorophyll, oxygen, and oxysilver especially transmits the frequency resonance to neutralize the expanded function bioweapon. Oxysilver is a double superconductor of the healing power of love. It is the first nutraceutical invented to amplify prayer power and the faithful, loving intention of your heart. Buy, try, and stockpile Oxysilver through HealthyWorldStore.com.
Homeowners, are you in foreclosure, expecting to be served with a foreclosure lawsuit, or suspect your lender has coerced you into an illegal mortgage transaction? A huge number of mortgages made in the last 10 years have legal issues and are possibly defective. State laws and the U.S. Supreme Court have upheld that defective mortgage documents are grounds for foreclosure defense and for counterclaims in favor of the homeowner. If your mortgage has been sold or assigned since closing the loan, it may be defective and you may be paying the wrong party, and the lender may not have standing or the right to foreclose or collect payments under the law. If you would like to know if your mortgage is legal or not, or know if you are paying the right party, we can help. Our initial consultations are free of charge. We are not attorneys. We are legal researchers and work closely with experienced lawyers who know how to help you find the evidence to help you keep your home. Call toll-free 1-855-2-KEEP-IT. That's 1-855-2-KEEP-IT today.
Ladies and gentlemen, J.R. Moore here. We have a special promotion going on at Republic Broadcasting. This is a fundraiser for Republic Broadcasting involving the Energy Cleaner. Mail me a postcard. My address is at my website at thelibertyman.com. We pick a postcard every other Thursday. When your postcard is drawn out, you get to buy an Energy Cleaner for $215 instead of $285, $70 discount. $200 goes to Republic Broadcasting. You also get a 10% discount on my mattress pads. So get those postcards in, put your name, your telephone number, your email address on there, and when your postcard is drawn, you get to get an Energy Cleaner for $215 instead of $285. Mattress pads, 10% off. Help us out at Republic Broadcasting and help yourself to get an Energy Cleaner at a deep discount. It's a win-win situation for everybody. We hope you can get these postcards in soon. Thank you very much.
Okay, welcome back. We are coming to you live from Boston, Massachusetts. And I think that Midge was... No, actually, Richard was speaking last.
Richard.
Yeah, go ahead, Richard. Closing thoughts.
Just, we got cemeteries full of people who have died, gave their lives for the freedom in this country. And I, for one, and I know there's many others, will not walk away and will not move to some other place. And until we can figure out what to do and how to do it, I would say to the public, as one, we can make many changes.
Okay, thank you, Richard. Midge, closing thoughts.
Well, I'm just so proud of everyone. I love having these roundtable discussions, Frank, because it's great to get different perspectives in a short amount of time and bring up these great questions. I mean, it was great to hear Richard's point of view, yours, mine, Chris's. I mean, I love doing this. So I think we should do this more often. And that's just my suggestion. But we all have the right to live our lives with freedom and in peace. So if I feel like that it is necessary for me to get away from the torture that I have been subjected to, I'm going to do that because I have the right to do that. And some of you have seen my pictures, and no one has the right to do this to me. I have the right to live my life peacefully and freely. And if I have to obtain that someplace else, then I most certainly will.
Okay. Thank you, Midge. I'm going to say that I love these roundtable discussions as well, and I'd love to have more of them. And all we need is either people getting together in advance and calling or writing, or we need people just jumping on the show and just let it happen that way. But I found... Go ahead, Midge.
No, go ahead. I just wanted to comment. I agree with what you're saying.
Oh, I see. Okay. Well, I'm going to have to say very shortly here, good night from Boston, Massachusetts. And
good night.
That's a place where it all started.
Yeah.
And I'd like to say God bless. Thank you, Midge. Thank you, Chris. And good night. My name is Frank Allen.
What would you say if I told you we have a new tool that will increase production and lower maintenance costs for your meat processing company? And it would pay for itself in just 6 weeks.
When pigs fly!
The new Ease Off Model Easy 4 replaces old spring-style carcass droppers and is faster, safer, and more reliable. The Ease Off lowers or lifts 1,000 pounds to or from your rail automatically using our remote control.
Sounds expensive. Can I afford it?
Can you afford not to try the Ease Off? It installs fast with just 3 bolts in place of your current dropper. The effortless operation will reduce fatigue and injuries, speed up your line, eliminate downtime, and increase profit.
How can I order my Ease Off?
Go to easeoff.com, EAZEOFF.com, and hurry, because we are offering $200 off on the new Easy 4 for a limited time. Easeoff.com. We make pigs fly. Cows, too. Ease Off LLC, Summersville, Missouri, 417-932-6419.
This is RBN, the Republic Broadcasting Network.
Prepare yourself! 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 Prepare